The idea for this show, which was curated by a guest curator called James Hamilton, who's a Turner biographer and curator, was really to bring together the work of Turner alongside a 20th century painter with whom he wouldn't normally be associated. The approach to curating the exhibition and selecting the works was really to think about, although these two artists, so on the one hand a 19th century romantic painter and on the other a 20th century abstract expressionist painter, although in some ways it's quite an unlikely pairing, actually when you look at a lot of their paintings, certain kind of visual correspondences or similarities start to emerge. So it was really thinking about what's the common language that these two artists shared. It was a language of paint, and the title of the exhibition is Making Painting, so it's a show that's very much about the kind of passion for the act of painting that both these artists shared. Turner's late works are often talked about in relation to abstraction. Now, he wouldn't have thought of them in those terms, but when you see a late Turner painting, a seascape from the 1840s, alongside one of Helen Frankenthaler's works from the 1990s, so for example a painting like Barometer, which is in our exhibition, the visual correspondences are really, really startling, and the way that the kind of experience of atmosphere and land or seascape is evoked in paint. Purely at the visual level, there's a real similarity between these two artists. So that's one of the things that we were thinking about with the show. Turner Contemporary is right on the sea, and there's something very elemental about our landscape, particularly at the moment, at this time of year. I mean, for both artists, you know, they were painting a memory of landscape. Helen Frankenthaler in particular talked about how she would translate landscape into abstract compositions. You can't get away from the landscape in both of these artists' work. So I think there is something very special really about being able to look at those paintings in the context of Margate and in the context of this particular place. And although sadly Helen Frankenthaler died a couple of years ago, she lived by the sea in her later years. She had a studio out on Contentment Island in upstate New York, and a number of people who knew her said that she would have loved Margate. It was exactly the kind of landscape that she was inspired by. So again, fantastic to have her paintings here.